What's up, Cinemaniacs? I am here to bring you CineTalk, and I am Shane Moore from the Cinebros. Check us out at facebook.com/thecinebros. And this is going to be a movie talk show where we are going to just have a bunch of movie lovers come on and kind of shoot the shit. We have a couple of guests today. The first guest on my right is Mr. Chad Davis.
Yes, sir.
What's up, Chad? How's it going?
Oh, here early again, watching a movie at 8 o'clock in the morning, but it's all good. We love movies, right?
Hey, that was a funny movie to start your day with. It was almost as good as my cup of coffee.
3 hours of sleep, and like I got 8 or 9 after watching that. I'm wide awake now.
All right. So we also have another guest, Mr. Brandon Blain.
Hi, Shane. How are you?
How's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. I'm very good. We're going to start this off by doing a little initiation for Mr. Brandon here. And the initiation is going to be getting a little information about his movie taste. We're going to start off with his favorite. We'll do action, comedy, and drama.
Let's start. I can probably start with drama first because it was like really easy for me to pick. Like lights out. Favorite book, favorite movie. It's got to be Fight Club.
What drew you to that? What? I mean, obviously it's an amazing story. David Fincher, director.
So it's just so visionary. Like the it was just amazing. I actually saw the movie first, and then went back and discovered that it was a book, and went and read the book, and his works and other things like that. But just the movie from start to finish, I think, is great. The story that it's told is just such an interesting perspective, plus the way it was shot with all these little extra things and here and there and taken out of context and all this little hidden stuff that you don't normally notice unless you've seen it at least.
And it's got a very hidden twist, and it's amazing. Yeah, like that movie is
so good.
That's probably one of the best twists in a movie. It's like got to be in the top 10 of all time.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean that, and what's the one with Kevin Spacey as Kaiser Sose?
Yeah.
Yes, that is amazing. That's my favorite twist of all time in the movie.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
I saw that a little too late.
I haven't seen it either. I know what happens. And
everybody knows what happens
M. Night
now.
Shyamalan Ding Dong's whole thing is like a twist, but like this movies like that where it's like a one-time kind of thing and just like hammers you in the face. I think it's great.
If that is your favorite dramatic movie, what's your favorite action?
That was hard because I have like a bunch of them, and they kind of go back from either it's either an action into kind of drama, or is it a thriller, or is it more crime based or anything like that. But you and I have kind of talked about it as Bad Boys. Bad Boys is amazing.
Yeah, the chemistry between Martin Lawrence and Will Smith is just phenomenal.
So good.
Yeah, I love that. Martin Lawrence keeps having these tweets, and he keeps Facebooking, and he goes on Conan O'Brien, and he has these. He's like talking with Michael Bay, and he's talking with Will Smith, and trying to get the gang back together for number 3. I think he's talked with Jerry Bruckheimer, who was the one who wrote it. Yeah. He's in the works with all that kind of stuff, and it's like he's all like, because he's the only one that's not working.
I say I don't know if Will Smith is gonna be up for it.
I don't think they're doing a Big Mama's House like 3 or 4.
Oh,
I
like those
9,
movies.
Whatever.
Those are guilty pleasures of mine too. Anything with Martin Lawrence, really.
Yeah.
I mean, like you have was it Blue Streak? It's the one with him and Tim Robbins. That's gonna drive me crazy. I hate that. All right, so anyway, we'll move on to the other movie. What's your favorite comedy of all time?
But it was hard because Bad Boys has that like really comedic element to it as well. So that was kind of going for me, and I wanted to go with maybe like Anchorman or something like that, but my movie it's got to be South Park, the South Park movie. The rewatchability of that, like
I saw that like 3 times in the theater.
It's amazing. I could watch it, and I picked these 3 movies basically if they come on TV or like they happen to stroll past my Netflix feed and I can't find anything else to watch. I could rewatch these at any point in time, whenever. I used to travel around New England for an old job I used to have, and I used to bring like one of the slim like PS2s. And like a pack of DVDs, and like those 3 were like 3 out of the 5 that were in there like all the time.
We're gonna go off your movies, the movies that you had just given us. We will do this one. We'll say you get to watch one of these movies. You get to watch for a weekend, and that's it. One weekend. Another movie you get for the rest of your life. That is the only movie that you can watch besides that one weekend for the rest of your life. And then the third one is no longer in existence. You can never watch it again.
Wow.
Yes. So out of those 3 movies, makes it difficult, especially when you're talking like some of your favorite movies of all time.
Yeah. That's hard. I'd get rid of South Park.
South Park, really?
Yeah, I get rid of South Park. I like comedies, you know, at a specific time or whatever. But like I think the way my kind of likes and movie kind of watching habits go, it's, you know, the thriller, it's the action, it's a little, you know, suspenseful kind of stuff like that. So I think, you know, if I had to choose never to watch one again, it would be that one.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I'm shocked. I'm actually shocked about that. So
that's because we've been quoting it and like singing the songs and like having fun with it.
I can just reenact it for you.
Yeah, I know, like,
just
it's
call
in
me
my
up.
brain. I can just exactly.
Just call me up and we can
just
reenact
sit and
it.
do it right now. I mean, we want to roll tape for a while. We'll go off the cuff and do it. How would you like to suck my balls?
Well, see, I mean, for me, when it comes down to it, I am a huge, like, I love comedies.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't think I could ever just totally just drop it. Like, I would need to have that comedy in there or have the availability to watch it over a weekend at some point. I don't know if I could necessarily just totally give it up.
It would be tough.
If I had a, you know, if I could only, I could only watch it for a weekend. And
you can only watch it for a weekend and that's it. So you have, you know, Saturday, Sunday, get it all in.
Yeah. And this is gonna sound weird because I named it first and like I really swoon about it, but I'd say then Fight Club. Then.
For the movie that you are stuck with for the rest of your life,
to kind of encompass more than
get
one thing,
everything.
You know what I mean? Because like you get a little bit of that action, you get a bit of that comedy, so it's kind of more all encompassing that way.
It makes sense. That makes sense. So what about you? If you had to pick from his movies,
I can't get rid of South Park. That would probably be my movie that I stuck with for the rest of my life. The rewatchability of it, it's just it's a classic comedy. And I think it has action in it and drama. I mean, it could fit all three of those. I mean, not as good as the other ones, but you got to stretch it out a little bit. But there is, you know, there's some of that in there. For the weekend only, probably Bad Boys.
Yeah.
And then I could get rid of Fight Club, I guess.
I would go with Bad Boys as the movie that I would watch for
forever.
Probably forever.
Yep.
I would do South Park because I think after a while I would get a little tired of the same jokes over and over again. Like if I had to watch that every day for the rest of my life, like I think, you know, after week 2 I might be like, oh my God, shoot me in the head. Like, but the movie is amazing. Like I love the movie, and you know, watching it once every year or two brings back all these awesome memories that I have from college and stuff. You know, one of those things that I would probably get rid of. Fight Club, probably the best movie out of all of them.
Yeah.
It's just dark and it's twisted, and I think
watch it
I would get a little maybe sad, depressed after a while.
I love that movie.
Yeah, it's really good.
I've watched it probably like I've watched it like 2 or 3 times in one day.
I love
like
Ed Norton. I love Ed Norton.
So
the guy is amazing. But yeah, I love that movie. I think that movie's phenomenal. All right, so now we're going to be talking about some newer topics that just released, trailers, news, all that kind of stuff. We might even speculate a little bit. One of the first topics, and I kind of have an idea where some of these people are going with this, is the Mission Impossible 5. It just came out recently that it's going to be getting released in IMAX, and I couldn't be more happy about it at the moment. I'm excited because I think these movies should be seen in the IMAX. Big, huge screen, loud sound. Like they're action movies that have a little dramatic, you know, flair to them. It's just a lot of fun to go see these movies on the screen. You guys, from what I understand, aren't the biggest Tom Cruise fans. So why? What about you, Chad? If you had to say anything about Mission Impossible.
The original Mission Impossible.
Yep.
Never seen it. Mission Impossible 2. Never seen it.
Good, that one's terrible.
Mission Impossible 3. Never seen it.
That one's awesome.
That's
my favorite one.
4. Didn't even know it existed. So
you didn't see the Ghost Protocol?
That's my opinion on the whole thing. I mean, I could care less if they make a 5.
But why? Why haven't you gone to see these?
I don't like Tom Cruise.
But what is this his personality?
His personality, he rubs me the wrong way. Like I told you earlier, I've seen 2 movies that he was in. Both movies he wasn't the star, I guess. So it wasn't bad watching it.
What movies?
Show Me the Money. All that.
Jerry Maguire.
There you go. He was a star.
Awesome. He was a star.
He was a star, but I mean, there was also.
Say your boy Cuba was the star of that movie.
Yeah, that's my boy right there. But it was a decent movie. He wasn't that bad in it, but there was a lot of characters around him that I think kind of carried him along the way. But
all right, what was the other one?
Tropic
Thunder.
Such a good movie.
Yeah, it's such a great movie.
I mean, he was like his role's minuscule.
Les Grossman.
Very minuscule. But
Les Grossman. There was talks right after that movie for them to make a Les Grossman movie.
Yeah,
and I have been waiting and pining for that so much. So that character stole the movie for me. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. was awesome, but his character, to be honest, when I saw this in the theater, I actually didn't even realize that was Tom Cruise for a little while. Like it took me,
that was the point.
And it, like all the makeup, and he was heavier set and all that kind of stuff. And then when I figured that out, it made it even funnier for me because I was like, you've never seen him in a role like that, and I loved that so much. And to this day, I still like will look up YouTube clips with Les Grossman on it. So funny,
like the dance scene and like the end of like the credits and stuff is hilarious.
Yeah.
So what about you?
I like a lot of his earlier stuff. You know, I'm a kid of the '80s, '90s, like stuff like that. So you got the Risky Business, Cocktail, Tom Cruise. You know, the Top Gun, Days of Thunder. Like I love the earlier Tom Cruise movies.
Yeah.
And I even saw the first Mission Impossible, and I may have seen the third one or the second one.
The third one was with Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Maybe the one where the chick gets like the Chimera virus or something like injected into her skin. And like it's always a race to like get whatever. I don't know. Was it
there was a motorcycle scene in the second one?
Yeah,
that one I did not like. Yeah. That one was my least favorite out of all of them.
And I think I've seen I think I've seen part of Ghost Protocol because that's the first one that has Jeremy Renner and Simon Pegg in it, right? Mm-hmm. So I think I haven't watched that.
Simon Pegg was in the third one as well.
I don't know, but I like Jeremy Renner. I like Simon Pegg. I like the characters that they're like bringing around him more. Mm-hmm. I liked in the first one they had Ving Rhames. Like Ving Rhames is a great character. Like I like his supporting cast in these movies. Him as like the lead star. Like I didn't. I'm not a huge fan anymore. I guess I've kind of like fallen away from it. I did like Oblivion. Like a little bit, we were talking about that earlier. I like the story. It could have been anybody that was in that role. Give me any leading guy. It doesn't matter. Yeah. It was the story more itself. He usually carries this franchise. And my own personal thing, I'm just kind of over it. Like I'm like let Jeremy Renner take over, kind of like how he did with the Jason Bourne kind of thing. Yeah. Let him be the next agent if you want to run with it that way.
And I think there's got to be something with Jeremy Renner. For some reason, every movie that he gets into, like you have him with the Bourne series. Matt Damon just came out with, I can't remember the director's name. He only wanted to be involved with the Bourne series, if it was with this director. Right. And he finally got to the point where he said, all right, I'm going to do another one. Yeah. And now Jeremy Renner kind of gets pushed off to the side a little bit. And he was supposed to take over that franchise. There was always talks maybe that Matt Damon and him will kind of go face to face or work together to kind of, It looks like the next movie is going to be involving Matt Damon again. For some reason, he has all these characters. You have even him in the Avengers, where he's kind of utilized as kind of like this mindless person, and he just totally gets wiped aside. And then you have him in the Mission Impossible franchise, where it looks like his character might start to move in to take over the head of the role. And sure enough, Tom Cruise comes back again for another one. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if he's just too nice of a guy and it's getting walked over, because he's a good actor. I mean, he's been in some really good stuff. I don't understand what the deal is.
Why he's not getting like leading?
Why he's not getting these leading franchises? Right. Like I don't know what the deal is. It's not like he's not marketable. I mean, he's a good actor. He's good at action. I don't get it. I don't understand.
Could be his people,
Absolutely. I mean, it's something. There's something up in the air with it. I don't understand what, but I don't get it. All right. So the second little topic here to kind of go off. We had the SNL 40-year anniversary last night. When I saw all this, it's trending on Facebook and everything, I was like, oh, you know what? That'd be a good topic to talk about. Yeah. So what was your favorite SNL skit turned into a movie? I'm going to start off with Brandon on this one.
There wasn't a lot to choose from. Like direct skits. There's maybe like 11, maybe 11 or 12, I think. So it was kind of hard to pick. I wanted to kind of initially go with Night at the Roxbury. I love Will Ferrell, and like that whole skit was always really funny to me. Some of the supporting cast that they got to come in and be a part of it, like Jim Carrey or whatever when he was on the show, was like super funny.
That's what made that famous.
Yeah, and anytime there was like a female like host or a part, she'd come and like get accosted.
I loved the skit where they had the Wild and Crazy Guys come on and play against. That was amazing.
That's like such a great nod to like olden of the time. But then I had to kind of think about and just go kind of with a classic and just go Wayne's World.
That movie, it was so perfect for its time.
Yeah, the time period, it's perfect.
Yeah, that movie is so fun. It's so quotable. It has great soundtrack. I mean, Queen's all over it. That movie is it's amazing. I wish that's one of those movies that's like I would love to get together and watch that again. That'd be a lot of fun to watch. I mean, that is our like generation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great. So what about you, Chad? What's your SNL skit turned movie?
Like you said earlier, I mean, there's only 11 or 12 actual skits that turned into movies. I went a little different. It started out as a cartoon short in the earlier days of the show. It was Office Space. The cartoon basically...
Has anyone seen my stapler?
Was that? Yeah. The cartoon actually evolved around...
Milton.
Yeah, Milton. And the stapler was one of the episodes. They were really short, like 2 or 3 minute clips, like like they do now. They do like the short film kind of things. And I chose that one. It's probably, I mean, it's a cult classic. It didn't do great in the theaters, but I mean, chock full of stars. Yeah. And the one scene with
Jennifer
the printer,
Aniston, with my girl.
Oh yeah. The one scene with the printer. And Ghetto Boys is playing in the background. I mean, there's multiple shows out there that have reenacted that as a parody kind of scene. The one most notable one is Family Guy, where they destroy the record from "The Bird Is the Word" because Peter Griffin wouldn't stop singing it. Every like 2 seconds he was saying the bird, the bird is the word. So finally they got the record and they did the whole printer scene straight down.
Shot for shot.
Yeah, shot for shot.
That's amazing.
So I went with Office Space. It was great. It was funny. A cult classic now, and I laugh every time I watch it.
That's kind of out of left field because like I didn't know that was a part of like the
to be honest, I didn't know either.
It started on Liquid Television. Mike Judge. It was one of his first cartoons. It was 4 episodes long. Like I said, each one was like 2 or 3 minutes long. And then I think Liquid Television shut down or they dropped it or whatever, and so he brought it back and put it on Saturday Night Live as a skit, as a short or whatever. So it's a little known fact, but yeah, it did kind of tied in with the whole Saturday Night Live. I know I would have went with MacGruber if I had to go a straight skit.
MacGruber is so funny.
Yeah.
I love that movie. Chris Jericho's in it from WWE and WCW.
Everybody's in it.
That movie is so funny. I actually love that movie.
Yeah.
I
love it too. Like it was a great movie.
Val Kilmer in it is so awesome as the villain. The movie that I would have to pick would be Night of the Roxbury. Yeah. And the reason why is because I have this great fond memories of it when I was in college. Like it was me and a bunch of my friends, and we would watch it over and over and over again. And to the point of where whenever we'd see each other anywhere on campus, we'd be like, Emilio! Like that's the man himself, tuning his cat at me, Emilio! Like, oh my God. Like that movie, I have such fond memories. And the movie is just, it's so silly and stupid, but hilarious at the same time.
I broke the window again.
Yeah. What is love? I love that movie. I still, we all have DJ'd here. Yeah. Chad has has a little bit of a retirement going on, but me and Brandon are both DJs, and I there's a couple of new remixes that have the What Is Love, and I play that, and every time I play it, I always find myself,
and you can't not like look out in the crowd and see someone who's like enjoying it, or like it sparks like a memory, and that's where they get it.
I love it. That's the soundtrack in that is so cheesy 90s, but it's so awesome.
So good. Like that, so all that dance music around the time is so really good.
So awesome. So, and then the third segment, the third question on this is, we're gonna name a movie that you really got excited about because of the hype that surrounded the movie, the trailers, the posters, what just was going on in your head, what you thought was going to be on there. Yeah. And then when you went to see it, it just totally missed the mark. What was the movie that did that for you?
I didn't go to the movie theaters a lot back in the day, so I can't really think of too many movies that I was really excited about going to see and fell flat. Most of the movies that I went to, I enjoyed. Yeah. So I went this year, my first movie of this year, I went and saw Black Hat. There was a lot of hype about it, about just being a really good movie. Michael Mann directed it. Chris Hemsworth was the star. I believe he was from Winter Soldier.
He's Thor.
Oh, Thor. Yeah. Thor. Okay. Yeah, and so I thought it was gonna be a good movie. I mean, I saw the trailers. I liked the trailers. It seemed like it was kind of like very getting into like the whole computer age kind of.
I heard it had a lot of hacking lingo.
It was way over the head of the normal person that didn't know that much about computers.
And are you one of those people?
Yes. I know a lot about computers. I don't know a lot about hacking computers and like all the terminology and stuff like that. I actually brought my dad to see the movie. My dad doesn't go to too many movies with me, and I just kept on telling him like, this is going to be a really good movie. It was going to be packed with action and There was no action in it
It
at all.
looked like it. The trailer sold it as like this big action movie.
And there was literally one action scene that I remember, and it made no sense. Like, they were just in some random parade. Like, it was just weird. It was like a very weird scene, and like, where the hell did all these people come from? It wasn't that good of an action scene.
It just totally missed the mark.
It absolutely totally missed the mark. Like, it was not good at all. Like, and that's why it was probably only in the theaters for 2 weeks. I mean, it was bad. It was very unbelievable to see Thor, the big, like, muscular dude.
The hackers that you know don't look like that.
Yeah, and he had no,
like he'd been kissed by the sun. No, you don't see the light of day. You're in a dark, dingy basement somewhere.
He's in prison working out.
He had no police enforcement like training at all. But then, like, all of a sudden, he turned into, like, this badass out of nowhere that could fight anybody. Like, it was very unbelievable and just a terrible movie. Like, I don't say that too many times about a movie, and it was a terrible, terrible movie. On to you.
Yeah.
See, for me, it was a movie that, like, I like, really bought into the hype that was around it. There was viral marketing campaigns. They created, I'm going to date the movie a little bit. There were MySpace pages for all the actors. They were, like, interacting with each other and stuff like that. It was Cloverfield.
Oh, that was a bad one, too.
See, I liked the movie, the way it was shot on the hand cam and, and stuff like that. Yeah. So that threw a lot of people off that I didn't,
like the shaky cam
yeah,
kind of stuff.
Like a handheld kind of camera, and the runtime was legit 80 minutes, which was the length of a mini DV tape. So, like, there were all these cool little intricacies about the movie that should have made it, like, a better movie. There was viral marketing that, like, there was, like, this hidden game and all these, like, all this extra backstory about this, like, the guy is, like, going away. They start with, like, throwing him a going away party because he's got this new job. But they never say, like, where he's going to work. And what part of the thing on the viral part was, like, where he was going to work, had something to do with this monster that, like, basically comes to the city. This drink that they were responsible for making had, like, this thing, and it was supposed to, like, chemically mutate all these things, and they were drilling down somewhere and, like, awoke this thing and blah blah blah, and, like, there was so much online viral hype marketing, all this extra cool, like, game. You have to go to this site to register to uncrack this puzzle. And, like, the game was just, or the movie just followed these people around for that, and they went to one building and then they went to the other, and then they got blown up, and that was it. And, like, I wanted, like, then there was hype after the movie about doing a sequel, and, like, they were gonna do it from a different perspective, like the soldiers' perspective, because they were all wearing video cameras, or doing something like that to, like, go into that depth of the corporation where that came from and stuff like that. And it just never happened. So I was just like, I went to the movie and I just felt like left, like, really disappointed. Like, I bought hook, line, and sinker to all that viral crap, and then it was like nothing.
That sucks, like, when that happens.
J.J. Abrams.
But now he's directing The Force Awakens. Yes, we're starting. I have a feeling that we will not be let down with this. The trailer. Yeah, right. The trailer to The Force Awakens, a little teaser that we got I thought was amazing.
It was good.
For me, I would have to say, I'm going to go way back into time. This is probably when I just really started going to the movies on a more regular basis. Now, it fell flat for me for one reason and one reason only. Because the actor that they kind of made in the trailers to be, like, the action star of this movie, he died right at the beginning. You might understand where I'm going with this after I say this. I was actually a big Steven Seagal fan.
Oh, I know. I think
so. I was a big Steven Seagal fan. I really enjoyed him in a lot of his corny action karate kind of movies.
Is so good.
Yeah, like all
Tommy Lee Jones knife fight scene. So
but the problem is that I just loved him. I loved him in all those little corny movies that he did in the 90s.
He did one with DMX, right?
What's that? Yes, he did. And I actually didn't mind it.
Wounds,
I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
So the movie that I'm talking about is Executive Decision. Now,
I like this movie.
I like the movie, but when I, being a younger kid, like I was probably in my mid to late teens when this movie came out, and I go there and I'm expecting to see Steven Seagal, beat the shit out of people on the plane. No. He goes, it's like, it starts off, he's like kind of this macho, like, leader of this task force that's going into this plane, and he dies in the first like 10 minutes of the movie. And I'm just like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, seriously?
That's such a twist.
I like right at the beginning he dies, and I'm just like sitting there for the next 20 minutes like,
Wait.
who's gonna be kicking the crap out of these people?
Wait, I have to watch Kurt Russell for
Kurt
the next
Russell
hour
and Halle Berry? Was she the one that was in that?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was so bad. Oh,
with Oliver Platt in that movie too.
Yes, yeah. The movie. Oh my gosh, like that.
I like that movie. I was thinking about that movie the other day.
I've watched it later on in life, and I know the actuality of what's going to happen. I don't mind it as much, but watching it for the first time in theater, I was just, that's a reason why I went. That's why I spent my, allowance.
You ponied up the dough just for Steven Seagal.
Yes, to go see Steven Seagal kick some ass on a plane.
And it didn't happen.
And it didn't happen. I was really sad by that. So, all right, so we're going to move on to the next segment. And the next segment is going to be called In or Out. And this is going to quickly talk about the topic, and then we are going to tell you if we are in or out. And the first question in this segment is, we have the newly introduced hybrid dinosaur from Jurassic World that was given to us recently. We kind of have the toy, and they even give you a little glimpse of a picture of it. Now, the in or out question is going to go to, it's going to be like a two-parter here. Are you in on this new dinosaur, hybrid dinosaur? And are you in on if the movie's going to be a financial success, and if the movie, do you think it's will actually be good? So first, go on the dinosaur. Second, if you think it's going to be a financial hit. And third, if you think it's going to be good. Chad, go ahead.
I'm going to go out and in.
Out and in?
Out and in.
Oh, out and in. So dinosaur, you are out.
I'm out.
You don't like the dinosaur at all. So you think think it's going to be a good movie?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good movie, and I think it's going to make a lot of money. I mean, everybody loved Jurassic Park.
So what are you out in about the dinosaur?
I just don't like the looks of it. I mean,
you don't think it looks menacing enough?
I don't.
Or
I just don't like the hybrid. Like, bring back the old dinosaurs, man.
They're terrifying enough.
Yeah, you don't need to make it all like weird and everything. Just bring back the old school dinosaurs and scare the shit out of me like the first one did.
See, now I'm in on the dinosaur only because it makes sense within the scope of the movie. Because the park's been open for a number of years, doing business as usual, and it's fleeting. Like, they're losing money, like doing stuff like that. So then they go back into the gene pool, start messing around, tampering with stuff. Let's come up with something new, a new attraction. It makes sense within the scope of the movie, business wise. It's got like the head of a raptor, so it's like bigger, smarter. I'm in within the scope of the movie. I feel you on like keep it classic to dinosaurs that were in existence. Inside the scope of the movie, I think it makes sense for what they were doing business-wise. I'm also in that it's going to be a financial success. I think the movie's going to do really well. The originals were, great. It's been like 14 years since there's been a Jurassic Park movie, much less the 25 or so years it's been since like the original. Wow,
it's been that long?
It's been a long time, at least 20, I think. Yeah. I'm out on it being good. I think it will be a success financially because people will go see it. I'm a little on the wire about the writer and the director because they haven't really done big budget kind of things before. They did a kind of a smaller indie movie called Safety Not Guaranteed. I kind of checked out the trailer and kind of read up on it, and it looked good. But it's not big budget. It's not it's not Universal.
Yeah, this is it's different. You have a lot of money involved invested now. It's a little different, and then you have the studio getting involved and
studio pressure. That's got brand recognition internationally, generations. That's my only thing. If they can pull it off, kudos to them. But they just haven't shown up on a big budget kind of scale like that, so that's why I'm kind of on the fence about.
Yeah, for me, I'm out on the dinosaur not because of the look of it. I think it could be amazing looking. Yeah. The problem with me is the CG aspect of it. Yeah. The original, you got a lot of the animatronic, which kind of made it look more realistic and kind of gave you that fear factor. And that's what the original sets itself apart from all the sequels that had, is that they went total CG with all the sequels after that. Yeah. Everything that I've seen so far in the trailer, I've seen nothing but CG work. And granted, they have plenty of time to kind of touch it up and fix it a little bit better. CG work that doesn't look that great. It looks fake to me.
Yeah.
And that's why I sell it, because I don't know, with the Raptors running along across the side of Chris Pratt on the motorcycle, it didn't look like dinosaurs.
Yeah.
So that led it to be a little cheesy for me. So I'm out on the dinosaur for that reason. I am in on the financial success of it. I think that it's going to be a huge success, but not because the movie's great. I think it's going to be a huge success because of the name.
Right.
Yeah. And then you're going to have all the toys and everything. You're going to get more people buy the DVDs and all that kind of stuff. And then as far as if it's going to be good or not, I have a feeling it's going to fall towards the sequels, where it's not going to be that great. It's going to be entertaining to watch, but not necessarily a good movie. It's like the first one did it so well. Yeah. Steven Spielberg directed that movie phenomenally. And that's where I don't think you're right. I think you can beat the first one. I think you could get that fear level back if you did it right. But the problem is they don't want to do all these practical effects. They want to go more CG. And just like in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where granted the practical costumes that they used in the originals were terrible. But they were fun. They were a lot of fun, and they actually captured the kind of the aspect of their relationship
like you said,
much better than the newer movie did.
Makes it feel more real.
It does. I mean, it gives you
a lot realer.
Yeah, I like that part of it.
I'm not a big fan of the CG.
Right.
It makes it look so fake that it doesn't scare me. Like a scary movie with CG won't scare me.
Right. I don't know. I think as far as scary movies goes, you need to have more of the movie telling. The characters' development, rather than doing all these jump scares and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
It's not necessary.
I don't know how on board I am with the whole Chris Pratt being like the raptor whisperer in that movie.
Yeah. I think I said something on Cinebro on the page. Like, I'm gonna have to be really sold on that.
You have to watch it, and if it develops, okay. But still, I'm just
I mean, I know raptors are smart and all, but
the Jurassic Park franchise has already made them out to be dominant killers.
Yeah.
However you go away from that,
I don't understand it. I'm gonna go in with an open mind, and hopefully it'll sell me when I watch it. The next question is the Deadpool movie. Now, there was, when it first we had all the leaked footage and everything come out. They were really kind of trying to lean towards the hard R, because for anybody that watches Deadpool or has read the comics or anything like that, very bloody, lots of cursing, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So recently, I think on the Schmoes Know, Mark Riley, he has come out and said that he has spoken to the director, and the director said that it is going to be a PG-13 movie. Brandon, how do you feel about Deadpool possibly getting a PG-13 rating?
Now, I never really got into the Deadpool comics. Mm-hmm. I kind of came along, kind of most of the mainstream people kind of came along with, with the X-Men Origins and the Wolverine, the story. I knew of Deadpool. I just didn't know a whole lot of the story. Mm-hmm. And if you go back and you look at all the big budget movies in the Marvel universe and Sony and things like that, they're all PG-13 movies, like the Avengers, all that stuff. If they want that mass wide appeal, it's going to be a PG-13 movie. The only comic movies that get the rated R's are the darker ones, like
Punisher,
like The Crow, V for Vendetta, Sin City, even Wanted. Kick-Ass too it was a R-rated movie.
Oh, was it? Yeah. Was the first Kick-Ass R-rated or was it PG-13?
I think the first one was R.
Yeah, it was R. I believe it was R. Yeah.
Yeah. 30 Days of Night. All these were all comic driven movies. Not the superhero kind of things. I mean, Blade had an R-rated movie. I love that movie. But so I'm not, I don't feel any specific way either or. Mm-hmm. I understand why they would want to make it a PG-13 movie. I think he's not your quintessential hero though. Mm. So that
he's like an anti-hero kind of I mean,
so
there's times that he's a hero. He's an assassin for hire.
Yeah. So if they want to go with that route, then if they want to stay true to that comic and keep it dark and go with that, I'm totally cool with that because Deadpool's freaking cool,
right?
So if they want to keep it R, if they want to,
and
make
Ryan
it R,
Reynolds is going to kill that part.
He's going to kill it. He was great in the origins.
The beginning part when they actually used them. So are you in? Because you're either or.
I'm going to go see it either way. So if it's PG-13, I'm going to see it. You're getting my money. Either if it's
so you're in either way. All right.
Exactly.
So what about you?
I don't follow superhero movies that much, but I have been reading up on this, and I did play the video game a little bit. I believe it came out last year or whatever. My buddy had it. Played a little bit of it. Loved it. and then I heard that it was actually coming out as a movie, and so I did a little bit of research on it. Found out Ryan Reynolds was gonna be playing him, which is great. I don't feel the PG-13 rating on it. I think it needs to be rated R. Financially, I think it's a smart move. The way that I've seen them.
But do you think, even though you say financially it's a smart move, do you think that the hardcore fans, I mean, granted, the comic book readers are so minuscule. I mean, it's like the 1% of the 1% kind of out there. Like, there's comic book readers. I mean, you have the best comic books out there. You know, you're talking like maybe 75 to 100,000 people watch those. I mean, that's, you know, nothing at the box office. But as far as, you know, you got the video games, you got the comics, you got all these, you know, the cartoons, you know, the financial side of it, you think will be benefit PG-13.
It will benefit it,
even though you can take it that next level, go with more kind of crude humor, and because I don't think 22 Jump Street would have been a good 21 or 22 Jump Street would have been a good movie if it was PG-13. I think they would have lost their audience and they would have never gotten a sequel.
As far as looking in their eyes, if they put that rated R on it and make it rated R, they're still going to get those rated R people going if it's rated PG-13. And they're gonna add.
But will they go see it a second, third, and fourth time?
But they're gonna add all those people that PG-13 that can go to it now because it's PG-13.
Right.
I mean, granted, kids get into these movies regardless. I mean, regardless of what you go see in is rated R, I don't think it really matters anymore that much. Because movie theater, you go and buy a ticket, a movie theater guy is not going to ask you if you're 13. Like, they don't do that anymore, you know what I mean? Like, growing up, they did it all the time, but they don't do that anymore. But I still think financially, I think it's a good move to put it at PG-13. But for the fans and the people that want to actually see a rated R Deadpool, I'm out.
You're out?
I'm out.
So you want the rated R. I guess the good thing is you can go see this in the theater if it's a PG-13 movie. Now, the leaked test footage, that was PG-13. There was no blood. There was no blood. There was one F-bomb, which you're allowed. I believe you're allowed 2 F-bombs in a PG-13 movie now. You're allowed to have alien blood and all that kind of stuff. But if you have any human blood in a movie, it has to be very minuscule, like you saw in Avengers movie where Loki getting... Phil Coulson, yes. Yeah. When you had Phil Coulson get touched and there was a little blood spot, but there wasn't blood leaking all over the place.
ScarJo had some
and you can't have a lot of blood. So, and it's something like this, you're going to be seeing a lot of sword action, a lot of guns. Yeah. It's going to be tough to kind of keep it that PG-13 route. The good thing is when it comes out on DVD, you can get the uncut version and they can add in all the CG blood and stuff like that after the fact. So it might be the best of both worlds where you get the PG-13 movie that's kind of for everyone and then you get the uncut version after. I'm going to say I'm in just because of the test footage. The test footage sold me because the test footage was PG-13 and it captured Deadpool to a T. Yeah. The third topic here is Guillermo del Toro. He had a new movie, a trailer to one of his new movies that's coming out soon, dropped, and that is Crimson Peak. Chad, I'm going to start off with you this time. What do you think about this trailer to Crimson Peak?
It was all right. I mean, I'm probably not going to see it. I just don't think it was interesting.
No? So you're out.
I'm out.
You're like...
I'm just going to put it as out.
Yeah, out. I'm out of it because it just doesn't look good. All right. What about you, Brandon?
I'm totally in.
Totally in?
Totally in. I love his vision. Like the way he kind of creates worlds and things like that. Like I'm all about him. He like Pan's Labyrinth, Hellboy, like all that stuff.
Hellboy. I want him to make a third one so bad.
The Blade 2, like which got really bad reviews, but like his creation of like
I didn't even know he did that.
The villain and things like that. Like it's great. And it's got a good cast like coming along with it too. I think
Jessica Chastain in anything is I'm on board.
0 Dark 30, Interstellar, all that. And then we're just talking about like Avengers and stuff like that. Loki, Tom Hiddleston. You know, he's gonna be a character in that movie, and I always butcher his last name, Charlie
Hunnam.
Hunnam. Yeah, from Sons of Anarchy.
Pacific Rim.
He did Pacific Rim. But I didn't like that. I didn't like that movie. And Guillermo's involved in that.
See,
too.
I liked that movie, but I liked it for the fighting robots. Right. When you got to the characters, even Idris Elba, who was in that movie, who was a phenomenal actor, he was not good in the movie. Everybody was terrible, and Charlie Hunnam
Ron Perlman was awful in that movie.
Everybody, it's just so bad. Charlie Hunnam in that movie was like staring at like a beige block. Yeah. Like it was so bad to watch him act. I was just like, I hope that he actually has acting chops because, he's a good-looking male.
Yeah.
He has that kind of Brad Pitt kind of look to him as a younger Brad Pitt and physical beast. You need to get an acting coach or something because if that's all he has, oh my Lord.
Have you seen, he did like some movie where it's like an English gentleman or whatever, and he had like a top hat on. I've seen it like pop up, and I've never even thought about watching it.
No.
Because like when I think of I think Jax Teller. I think Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah,
like,
so I've never seen the show. I've actually never seen Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, see, he'll show you different acting chops in there because Jax Teller and that character in Pacific Rim are way different. But I love. Yeah, I'm totally in on Guillermo del Toro's, like when he does monsters in suspense and that kind of stuff. Just look at Pan's Labyrinth; it had no stars in it, and it was brilliant. It was really good.
He does have a good mind for that. That's for sure. I mean, for me, I'm in just because I don't really like the CG, and I don't like. But this didn't look like it had a lot of jump scares in it. I'm sure it will. All these horror movies that come out now have those jump scares, but. It had that kind of creepy vibe. Like it's like, there's this room that they can't really go into and because who knows what the hell's going on. I don't know if they're going to show us the room that much and it'll kind of be the climax, kind of give us that later on. Yeah. So that's what I'm hoping for. I'm in on the trailer. With the next trailer, I could be out. Right. I don't want to go see this just because of Guillermo del Toro. That he does sell me a little bit on this. Just having his name attached does give me an idea that it's going to be a decent movie. I like the actors in it too. Like you said, Tom Hiddleston and Jessica Chastain. I love Jessica Chastain. I think she's very good. Every year, you almost expect her to have a role where she's at least in the talks for the Academy Award, and I just think she's a phenomenal talent. So I'm in so far. So the next topic that we have here, and this is going to go much quicker, and that is the 30-second thoughts. And the 30-second thoughts basically means you have 30 seconds to give your opinion on the particular topic. So the first topic up is about Spider-Man, the reboot that is going to be coming out now that Marvel has kind of a say over the new character and they can have a little crossover and all that kind of stuff.
Is it still going to be under Sony or is it like
a
co-branding kind of thing?
Sony still has the creative control to do their own movies with them, but they have to use the character that Marvel and them pick together. And as of right now, Spider-Man's only contracted to be in one movie. So they can pick whatever movie that is. Right. I'm sure they have some kind of agreement in there, like they can use him whenever they want. All the lawyer stuff. Yeah. I'm sure that he'll be in future movies.
Paid appropriately.
Yeah, exactly. So the Spider-Man reboot, we have 2 actors being looked at. As of right now, these are the ones that are said to be looked at. That is Dylan O'Brien from The Maze Runner. And you also have Logan Lerman, who did Percy Jackson movies, and he also was in Fury recently. Who do you like out of these 2? And if you don't like either one, who would you suggest? I'm going to start off with Chad because I know how much he loves Spider-Man. You have 30 seconds right now. Go.
I've never seen any of the Spider-Man movies. So I'm going to make this really simple. Logan Lerman, I've seen him in Fury. I've seen him in Percy Jackson. I don't know who the other guy is. I don't know if I've ever seen him in any movies, so I'm gonna go with Logan
Lerman.
Let's go.
Right. Logan Lerman, and you have 3 seconds. You sure you don't want to say anything else? You want to say hi to your mom?
Hi, Mom.
All right, that is the time up for him. All right, now we're gonna go over to Brandon Blain for his comments on the old Spider-Man.
Out of the 2, I'd say Logan Lerman. I have not seen anything new or recent he's done. I do remember him in Butterfly Effect pretty good, though. He takes a little letter openers and right on his hands.
I don't even remember him.
He's a little kid then. But I say let Andrew Garfield keep it. That's my 2 cents. I think he played Peter Parker. He played Spider-Man very well. That sarcastic wit and like everything. I think he did a great job. For him to be out of a job just for that, I think isn't necessary.
Awesome. Well, all right. For me, if I have to pick out of these 2 characters, I like Dylan O'Brien. I think he's really good. I think from what I saw him in The Maze Runner, he did a fine job. I liked him in the role. If I had to pick out of these 2, I would go with Logan Lerman as well. I think we're all on that board. I think he has proven that he's been in more stuff, so we kind of have seen his acting chops, and I think he could do both roles pretty good. But if I had to pick one person, I would go with Taron Egerton from The Kingsman. I think that he has proven that he can do both roles easily. All right, so the next topic we're going to have is going to be about 50 Shades of Grey. Excited. It had an opening weekend of over $80 million. We have two very excited gentlemen over here, neither of which have seen the movie. Yes, I have seen it. You can check out my review. You can check out my review right here. I'll post a link or something right here. 50 Shades of Grey. It had its opening of over $80 million. What do you think about the box office totals? And what do you think about Sam Taylor Johnson, who is the director of these movies? What do you think about her coming out and saying that the next two books are going to get made into movies? So this time, we'll start with Mr. Brandon Blain.
Great.
All right, so you are a go.
I think the box office number makes sense. It being on Valentine's Day weekend was really, really smart for them to release that. I'm not surprised that they won't greenlight more after their success. It actually started out as fan fiction for Twilight, which a lot of people don't know about.
Yeah.
Lonely single girls are going to want to go see it, and hitched up girls are going to drag their men to go see it. So that's pretty much it. Thank God I don't have to go see it. I love you, Ashley. I have a wife that will not want to see that. Thank you.
Well, I am one of those people that was not dragged to it. I actually wanted to go see it.
Of course you
but
did.
Anyway, we will get into all right, Chad. Now, what do you think about this?
The box office wise, it's a little bit lower than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be in the $100 million range.
I think you posted on Facebook that 125.
125. I was exaggerating a little bit. I think we actually agreed upon 110 or something like that. 112.5. It was something weird, but 82 million is phenomenal, and I'm not going to see it ever. So I don't really have that much input about it.
All right. Well, I guess that's it. That's with you. For me, I would have to say that not only was I surprised with how low of a number that it came at the box office, I thought that 81 million was very shot. And now there could have been multiple reasons why. We had a big storm in New England that could have kept people from going to. Now that's maybe $1 million. But I really thought that this movie was going to do well over 100 million. I thought it was going to break that mark, and it didn't. As far as the new books getting made, I mean, it's a no-brainer. I mean, this movie did so much money. Yeah. You cannot not do the movies. All right, the next topic up is the Oscars. We have three major categories up for grabs that, in my opinion, are up for grabs. There are a couple of front runners, but these three major categories are for Best Picture, Best Actor, and Best Director. Now, Chad, who do you think wins Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Director? Go.
Best Actor, Michael Keaton, Birdman. And then what was the second one? Best Picture. I want Birdman, but I think Boyhood's going to kind of edge it out. Mm-hmm. And Best Director is Boyhood.
Linklater?
Linklater, yeah. This one.
All right, Brandon. So, how do you think? What do you think?
The only one I really had a diehard feeling for was that Richard Linklater was going to win. Just Boyhood. Just the concept.
You think
alone,
for picture and director?
For director, sorry, yeah. I think the concept alone is great. The 11, 12 movie, 12 years or something for them to shoot it. The other things, I kind of looked up the Vegas odds and I kind of agreed. I thought American Sniper was going to be higher up in the odds, but it seems to be a long shot. So I did Best Picture, Boyhood, Best Actor, Michael Keaton for Birdman as well. So I'm kind of in agreement with Mr. Chadwick.
All right. Well, you went a little over your time, but since Chad went a little under his time, well, we'll just kind of balance that out.
He's a guest.
I'm going to live my life.
For me, I'm going to have to say that for Best Picture, I have a feeling I'm kind of on the same board. I think there's this thing that happened. The Screen Junkies do this honest trailer thing, and they had their Boyhood honest trailer taken off of YouTube by someone, and it just happens to be around the time of the Oscars, so I think that actually is going to hurt it a little bit. I'm going to go with Best Picture. I'm going to go with Birdman. Best Actor, I'm going to go with Michael Keaton. Oh no, I'm sorry, not Michael Keaton. I'm going to go with Eddie Redmayne, and as the Best Director, I'm going to go with Linklater. All right, and now we will head over to the new releases that are coming out this weekend. We have The Duff, which is a designated ugly fat friend. I can't believe they're made. That's just ridiculous. It's like in this day and age, you just wouldn't expect that to be. And they come out in the trailer and just boom, right there. I mean, although we do have Hot Tub Time Machine 2, which is coming out, and there's a movie called McFarland USA, which is a inspirational kind of movie. So which are you excited to see, and why? I'm gonna go with Chadwick first. This is Mr. Chadwick Davis.
Chad left the building. I am all in on Hot Tub Time Machine 2. I loved the first one. I'm even looking more forward to the second one because they added Adam Scott. I'm a big Adam Scott fan.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's phenomenal pretty much in everything that he does. So, and he doesn't have that main role kind of actor-ism. Is that a word? But I'm all aboard on Hot Tub Time Machine 2. The other two just doesn't look like they interest me.
All right. So what about you, Brandon? Are you interested in seeing any of these movies?
None of them.
None of them?
If I had to watch one, if I had to pick, I'm not a McFarlane. Like the last motivational movie I saw was, I don't know, maybe Rudy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but like I'd probably have to go with The Duff. Like it's kind of like that weird Project X Mean Girls kind of like thing. So if it was on late night and I really had nothing better to watch,
could be silly stupid.
Yeah, silly stupid.
Yeah.
Like pointless, like mindless. I could have it on and be on my computer at the same time and not really miss anything.
Totally get that.
What the hell is he hitting?
Yeah. Well, I wasn't on the camera that time, so for me, I'm gonna have to go ahead and pick Hot Tub Time Machine 2. I want to see this movie so very badly. I've been waiting for a screening to pop up so that I can go see this early. I really enjoyed the first one, and the second one looks like it's going to take it that much further, and I think it's going to be so incredibly over the top that I am going to be laughing my ass off from start to finish. I love the chemistry between all the guys. I'm really excited for Hot Tub Time Machine 2. As far as McFarlane goes, it's another inspirational movie. I rarely go see those in the theater, so that's about it.
And John Cusack, though, are you okay with that?
Yeah,
I am. I'm actually all right with that. I mean, as far as not being. I don't think this is one of those movies that you necessarily need him, and I think he was kind of one of the weaker characters.
He was
like
the weakest
comedic
character.
wise. I did see the first one, and I just
it doesn't really. You don't really need a sequel. Yeah. The Duff does look kind of funny though. I as stupid as it does seem.
It is. I watched there's 4 different trailers. It seems kind of like this generation is kind of like Can't Hardly Wait or something like along those lines, like Project X kind of.
It's definitely like, the Mean Girls kind of.
The newer kind of.
The Mean Girls vibe. I'm surprised you didn't go that route.
That's why I'm surprised you didn't like it.
You can't even put this in the same category.
How do you know? You haven't seen it yet.
Catty Girls, Social Cliques. Like,
there's no other movie in the same category as Mean Girls.
Who was the Duff in? Was it Lindsay Lohan?
Yeah, I guess so.
Or the chick that was on Party of 5.
I don't think there was any Duffs.
No.
All dimes, no Duffs.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, copyright.
All right, so we have this bi-weekly movie that we watch that you guys had picked for us. And this week, this week's winner was Happy Gilmore. One of the people here had actually voted for us to do Hot Shots.
That's right.
And I would have loved that. I love that movie.
Too,
I think that movie's awesome. And he also wanted us to reenact that, which I think for you guys, I think that's probably a good thing that we didn't.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, or if you have YouTube, the food scene.
Oh, the olive.
He's cooking. He's melting. He's cooking breakfast, bacon and eggs up on her stomach. It's just hilarious.
I was like, I haven't seen that. I've seen Hot Shots Part 2, Part 2. I've seen it a million times, but I haven't seen Hot Shots in such a long time. And I wanted to see that, like, I can't remember what the older guy's name is. He is so funny. I wanted to see him in the movie again, as I haven't seen it in such a long time. And I would have loved to seen that. But instead we got Happy Gilmore. And Happy Gilmore is a classic. Yeah. I mean, that movie is one of Adam Sandler's best. In my opinion, it is my tied for second favorite golf movie. I have a guilty movie pleasure of Tin Cup as my favorite golf movie. I love that movie so much. I love that movie, but it's probably tied for my second. And I have to say tied because these other 2 movies I love so much. The other movie's Caddyshack. That movie is that's a classic as well. But as far as Happy Gilmore goes, I mean, we just got done watching it probably about an hour and a half ago. Let's discuss this a little bit. You can even chime in a little bit if you want.
All right.
What was the first time? When did you watch Happy Gilmore for the first time? Did you see it in theater?
No. Definitely. I've told you this before. I grew up in Maine. We didn't have a movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
They just got one like yesterday, right?
No, we still don't have one. The closest movie theater was probably roughly about an hour and 15 minutes away.
Mm-hmm.
They did have a smaller movie theater, like maybe a half an hour, 40 minutes away, but all they did was show older movies. It was like $1 to get in, but they showed like
Gone with the Wind?
like grumpy old men, like, but it was like 4 years after it was shown in the regular
Grumpy
theater.
Old Men is awesome.
So
I
That's
love
a
the
really
movie.
good
I saw it there,
Good.
but yeah, I didn't get to see that many movies in the theaters growing up. So I'm guessing I probably saw it on TV or I can't remember. I can't remember the first time I did watch it, but I have seen it plenty of times. I mean, both of us are. You used to be an avid golfer, and now I'm an avid golfer. Second favorite golf movie for me too.
Yeah.
But I went a little bit different. My favorite is The Greatest Game Ever Played. And then this one might be tied with Caddyshack as well for me too.
Yeah.
But
I didn't see this movie in the theater. In 1996, I was playing baseball like crazy, and I didn't really have a lot of time to go to the theater. But I remember renting this, going to Blockbuster, renting the movie, playing it on VHS, and I watched that movie and I fell in love right from the beginning. I mean, that movie has so many quotable lines, like "The price is wrong, bitch." I love the movie. We were laughing. We've seen this. I've seen this probably about 25, 30 times.
Yeah, easily.
And we were just sitting there still laughing all over again. Mista.
We were quoting the whole movie along the way, and I mean, it's a classic comedy, and
I wish I could dim the lights right now so we'd be like, friends listen to Endless Love in the Dark.
My endless love.
The movie is so good. I mean, if I had to rate this movie out of 10, I would give this I would have to say it probably an 8 out of 10 for me. The movie is phenomenal.
What I'm giving it is 8 out of 10. I mean, I think even the first time I watched it, it was an 8 out of 10. I mean, just from the second you start watching it, you're laughing. Just from the very first opening scene. I mean,
Shooter McGavin. I mean, it's so classic. I mean, do you golf?
I used to.
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't quote this movie when they're on the golf course? I mean, a shooter.
Yeah,
I do that stuff all the time. I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast. You eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
And there really wasn't. There was no bad characters in this movie either.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't sit there and watch that movie and be like, they could have done without that character.
No. I mean, the weakest actor in the whole movie is Adam Sandler. I mean, he does the worst job acting, but his character is so goofy and weird. It's just hilarious. It plays out. I mean, he's in the batting cage getting slammed with baseball. That one hurt a little bit.
And Ben Stiller is the best cameo.
Oh, that is a fantastic cameo.
He killed every scene that he was in just from
extra duty.
My fingers hurt. Oh, your fingers hurt? Well, your back's gonna hurt now because you just pulled landscaping duty.
Yeah. I mean, he was only in the movie for a very limited time, but
such a great cameo. I mean, that is so awesome. I love that movie so much.
I'm happy you guys picked that movie.
Yes.
Gone with the Wind.
Oh, that's a 4-hour movie.
I can't believe I picked it. One.
Yeah. Well, he didn't know the long running time. And I joked at the beginning. I knew it was at least a 3-hour movie. Yeah. I didn't realize it was a 4-hour movie.
I thought it was 2.5.
We would have had to spend the whole weekend together, shacked up.
Does your couch fold into a bed?
No, it does not. It does not.
There's some ottomans and had some popcorn. And,
All right, so now we're going to pick the next week movies. And next week's movies, we're going to do, since we have a guest today, we're going to get him pick 2 movies for us. Yeah, well, it's 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from now. We're going to let him pick a couple of movies for us as well. So I'm going to start off with my first movie that I'm going to pick. And this is in honor of Kingsman because it just came out. Yep. And this is a very Kingsman is an ode to this movie. And that is Goldfinger, one of the original Bonds with Sean Connery. So my first movie is going to be Goldfinger. What's the first movie that you're going to choose?
I'm actually going to go with a little theme here. Baseball season's coming up. So I'm going to do 2 baseball movies. The first one I'm going to pick is possibly my favorite baseball movie, and I'm going to go with The Sandlot.
Sandlot. Oh, really? Yeah. Really?
Very classic to me.
I've actually seen that shirt. They have that posted. You have it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
No, I have one that's let's call it a remix, if you will. There's a shirt that has the kid on it.
Yeah.
That says "You're killing me, Smalls." I have one that has Biggie on it.
Oh, I think I've seen that. I think I've seen that. Yeah. That's great. That's a good one. What's your first? What are you gonna pick for us?
Well, I love a lot of the movies during the '90s. I love seeing a lot of movies then. One of the movies I picked for you guys is Dead Presidents.
Dead Presidents. Oh man,
it's a little different than The Sandlot.
Holy cow! I haven't seen that in a long time.
So good. Old, it goes back to the Vietnam era. It's a great movie. Bank robbery. It's got action. It's got a little bit of thriller in there. And the face painting.
I haven't seen that in such a long time. I
dug a little deep.
That's totally different than we're going. All right, the next movie that I'm going to come up with is, and this is an ode to a movie that is also a personal, like, kind of guilty pleasure, but I'm sure everybody has this on their list. And this is because I found out recently, within the last week or so, that they are coming out with a part 2, and that is Zoolander. I am going to pick Zoolander. I love all the characters in it. You know, they're coming out with a Zoolander 2. Will Ferrell, you have Owen Wilson, and Ben Stiller all reprising their roles, and I love this movie so much. Like the gas fight scene, like there's so much, like, you know, what is that, a school for ants? Like there's so many funny things. The children to learn to read when they can't get into inside the building. So that's going to be my second movie because they're coming out with another one. I think it's 2016 is that it's coming out. So what about you, Chad? What's your second movie?
All right, second movie. I had a couple of my, baseball movies. There's tons of baseball movies out there.
There is. I love them all.
I was gonna do like a little tribute to you and go with Ed because I know you love Friends. But
that is such a bad movie.
But it's so bad that I don't want to mess this one up like I did with Gone with the Wind that almost won. So
it's not 4 hours.
Is there a monkey in that movie?
Yeah, there's a monkey in the movie.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a monkey in it, and Matt LeBlanc's in it too.
Yeah.
And
his show Episodes is phenomenal on Showtime. That show is so funny.
And then I had Major League in the back of my head, but I didn't want to go with too adult comedy. Like, I know Sandlot's not adult comedy, but it's kind of slapstick comedy kind of thing. But I'm gonna go with Angels in the Outfield.
Oh,
Danny
Glover. Right. Yeah, all right. I actually don't think I've seen that since the theater.
Yeah, I haven't seen it since they showed it at our Sunday school.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was when I was probably in 6th or 7th grade, 6th grade probably, 5th grade.
I would have been very happy if you picked Major League 2 because that was my first date with my wife.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we saw that in the theater together.
Isn't
first
there a
date.
Third one now too?
Don't mention it. Don't mention it. Don't mention it. I think that was like with Scott Bakula or something like that.
Unnecessary Roughness, you remember that movie?
Yes,
that's so good.
I like Unnecessary Roughness.
Yeah, that was good. I thought it was good. Oh, dude. Major League 2, you're standing on the tracks of the trains coming through, butthead. So funny.
Yeah. What about you? What are you giving us?
See, we were talking on Facebook a little while ago about baseball movies with a buddy of ours.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have picked, if I was picking baseball, I would probably have went with like The Fan.
Yep.
Wesley Snipes, and a little unsung movie role for Benicio del Toro in that movie, which a lot of people don't realize that he's the Spanish shortstop guy that or outfielder that ends up getting killed in that movie. But segue to my pick was Way of the Gun.
I've never seen
it.
I've never seen it.
Perfect. That's exactly what it's about. Ryan Phillippe, Benicio del Toro play a couple outlaws in there.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah Silverman has a real quick cameo in the beginning.
Really?
Super, super funny. Was that Juliet? James Caan's in it.
Okay.
And was it Julia? Who's in Natural Born Killers?
Oh, Julianne Lewis, dude.
Yeah,
Juliet.
Yeah, no,
something like that.
It's not Louis Dreyfus. It's another one.
This came out recently, right?
2000. So it's not.
Oh, all right,
it's not that.
And is it a comedy, action? What is it?
It's total like action thriller, like crime movie. There's some little like funny parts in it. Sarah Silverman's parts like not really that. I mean, it's funny, but it's not meant to be funny.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a cool movie.
Excellent. So
make sure they vote for that.
Well, I will put that. I'll put it up on there, and I will have it. I will post it up on Facebook. Hopefully, this will be coming out on Wednesday. Hopefully, I'll get it up there around the same time.
6 very interesting movies right there.
Yeah, all different, very different. I'm on board with any of them.
I'm actually on board with any of them.
Yeah, so. I haven't seen. Obviously, I want to see the movies that I picked. I would love to see Goldfinger again. I haven't seen it in such a long time, but whatever. It's all good. Then we have another little. We and Chad also pick movies for each other that we watch every other week. Mm-hmm. And the movie that I gave him this week was an all-time classic by Ridley Scott. This is when he was directing good movies. That is the movie Alien.
So good.
It's what is it? The No One in Space, No One Can Hear You Scream.
It was better than Jaws.
Shit.
And I like Jaws, but this movie it had me like. I watched it late at night. I was tired.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little scared I was gonna fall asleep during it because I wasn't sure what it was about.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of knew what it was about, obviously, but I enjoyed it. It kept me awake the whole time.
You said you really enjoyed the HD quality.
Yeah, I watched it in HD, and it looked like it was made yesterday. Like, it was pretty amazing. Like, it didn't look
practical
like
effects,
Jaws,
man. They work well.
Like Jaws, I watched in HD too, but it seemed like it wasn't as good as an HD quality as this one. I mean, it looked like it was made yesterday. It was very good.
They had to remaster that.
Yeah, maybe
might
it
have,
was.
yeah, maybe.
I mean, but it didn't look anything like Jaws. Like, Jaws looked good, but it was still a little. You could tell it was old.
Mm-hmm.
But this movie held up, man. Like I said, this is the first time I watched it.
Did it scare you?
It scared me.
Yeah?
I mean, it had its moments. I mean, the only thing is when the little alien guy came out of the stomach, all I could picture was Spaceballs.
Exactly. Yeah.
Where's the top hat? I said. Where's the top hat?
Hello, my baby.
But yeah, it came out. It scared me. The only thing the ending was the alien sleeping. Was he hiding? Was he that smart to know like because they never explained it. Like, was he that smart to know like he had to hide in order to get to Earth, or because like it was a weird, like they never explained it, and it kind of
aliens are smart, man.
What I got out of it was the lifespan of the alien. Was pretty much, wasn't it like they're hatched, they lay eggs, and then they die? Isn't that what they're made for? Like those alien. Like, that's what I got.
I haven't seen the movie in such a long time.
I thought the alien was dying. I thought it was going through its lifespan. But then when I went online and other people were saying that same thing, but then some other people were saying that he was sleeping. Some people were saying that he was hiding.
I think that's the purpose of the movie, to kind of leave it a little open, so this way you can have a discussion and you can also have that sequel maybe later on down the road.
What do you think he was doing?
I think he was sleeping.
You don't think he would have woke up like from all the noise she was making?
I think. Well, how about this? Sleeping. Like, I think they're smarter. They're just smarter beings. Like, whatever they are. I need to pretend like I'm dead. Right. So this way I can survive. Like, these are just totally different creatures, much more of an animal instinct. But
besides all that, like, that's the only part of the movie that didn't really. I mean, like you said, maybe it was just left open for people to think about it.
It's open to interpretation. I mean, there are a lot of movies.
I don't think they're gonna write like any kind of hard ending for it because they wanted to make it. They made what five? At
least four. Yeah, at least four of them.
But the only other thing that I had a problem with was that damn cat. Why was she so worried about that damn cat?
You know what's funny is that they had something very similar in the latest Hunger Games movie, Mockingjay.
Yeah.
There was a freaking cat that this girl had to go back and save.
And the other thing is the second girl that was the second girl cast. Not Weaver.
Sigourney Weaver, not her.
Not her, but the other one.
I can't remember.
She's going up to space. She's been trained to go up to space. Mm-hmm. She's been trained, you would think, to be able to deal with certain aspects of space that you might encounter, and she totally freezes, and she basically kills off the black guy. Like, she froze. Like, all she had to do was move, and he was ready. And she just stood there. Like, I mean, I can see how you could get frozen in that situation. I've never had an alien.
So you're saying she's racist?
No. No, I'm just saying, like, she wasn't the right person.
She was a red shirt.
I mean, the movie was made in '79, so you never know. It was on the cuff there. But I love the movie. Yeah. It was just those little small things, but
there's got to be ancillary characters that get thrown off.
Yeah,
they got to kill off.
I didn't.
It's movie magic, man.
Yeah. She was. I couldn't stand her for one because she's just always yelling and. It didn't seem like she belonged.
So she detracted from your movie experience.
She didn't detract from it because I still enjoyed it, but I just nitpicking really.
So what's your rating then? If you had to rate it out of 10, really that good? Huh?
Yeah, it was that good.
Excellent. I'm glad.
It was a phenomenal movie. Like, I don't know if I want to see the other ones though, because I told you I've seen Prometheus and I didn't understand it because I'd never seen Alien.
Right.
Now that I've seen Alien, I kind of remember it, and I kind of.
These are the prequels.
Yeah, I watched Alien and I was like, oh man, that was in that movie. The ending, man, I could talk about that forever because I still got stuff in my head about that ending. Like, it's crazy.
Alien.
Yeah. Like, oh my god.
I'll have to watch it again. I'm gonna. You know what? I have to watch it.
Yeah, I know.
I have to watch it.
Dude, it's been so long since I've seen it. It was a really good movie.
I mean, the movie came out in 1979, 1980.
I was really happy I watched it. Like,
yeah, good.
I wasn't looking forward to it.
I like some of the other ones though. So I mean,
I was gonna ask you guys, like, how did you?
Because I don't really remember the second one that well.
Aliens.
Yeah, but
I almost watched.
I remember the third one.
I believe the third one was directed by David Fincher.
That's why I like it.
And he, well, listen to this. He actually doesn't account that as his first directing credit. He wants no part of the movie.
Really?
Yeah, he hated it. He hated all the experience about directing it, and he hated the way that the studio made it turn out. I think so. I think it was the third one.
It wasn't Resurrection.
No, I don't think so. I think
it wasn't that
and
one.
then didn't they make an Alien versus the Predator?
They
yes.
did do that.
It was pretty terrible.
I actually enjoyed that. I thought it was like
good.
mind-numbing popcorn, Starburst kind of.
It's like,
shove
all
it in
right,
your
we got
face.
good movie franchises from when I was younger. Smash them together, and it was good.
I'm actually gonna go on and watch Aliens just to see if I like it or not. The second one.
Alien 3. He did Alien 3, 1992. Yeah, he hates.
I didn't know that.
And I'm so glad he kept on going forward because he has given us some amazing movies. So
I think he is my favorite director.
Is he?
Yeah.
He's definitely one of mine. I mean, I it's not like those are my favorite type of movies. I don't really tend to like a lot of like serious drama and stuff like that, but he does it so well. Like Seven is amazing. It's one of my favorite crime thrillers ever. Yeah. And then Gone Girl, that was my favorite movie of 2014. He's amazing.
The Social Network.
He's done some stuff with House of Cards and everything. Like, there's so many good things. I mean, Panic Room. I mean, all the
Panic Room was good.
Yeah, I mean, he's done so many good movies. Well, the movie that I was given was The Way Back. The Way Back was he told me that it was going to be this emotional roller coaster, and it was. I mean, it was an emotional coaster. I mean, I didn't find it as emotionally like tasking as some movies, but it was good. And then you had people like Sam Rockwell in it, who was phenomenal as the manager of Water Whiz. I thought his character. I started watching the movie with my wife.
She didn't finish it.
She had to go to bed, man. She had to get up early.
Okay.
She had to get up earlier than us.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
So she started watching the movie with me, and she actually said, she's like, I'm gonna let you finish this depressing movie yourself. And I was like, and she's like, I just can't stand Steve Carell. I couldn't, no, dude. I wanted somebody to pop him so bad.
Oh, yeah.
He ticked me off every single time he spoke. Now I hate the word when, like, I don't know if I'll be able to call my son buddy ever again. Oh my Lord, that it's like nails on a chalkboard. Oh, so bad. I was like, oh, shut up. Like, he really ticked me off. But Sam Rockwell's character, his like chemistry with Duncan, who was the kid in the movie. I don't know who played Duncan, but they had such great chemistry together, and I really enjoyed watching his character grow as the movie went on, and how he almost had like a dual personality. Like, he's kind of this quiet, reserved kid, and then he goes to this water world and then this water park, and Sam Rockwell is kind of, mentoring him and kind of taking him under his wing, and he just kind of grows into this like stronger, more just better person of himself. It was just a great movie. And like, one of my favorite people in this movie was Allison Janney. Who was the drunk neighbor.
The drunk neighbor. Yeah,
she was hilarious. And I will never, I'm going to be using this a lot. And that's when she delivers this line at the very beginning of the movie. She's like, they called me a see you next Tuesday. I was like, oh, that's so great.
You never heard that
is so great. No,
I've never
heard. Oh, dude, I say that all the time.
Oh my God, that was so great. I loved it. I was like, oh my Lord, that is so phenomenal.
That's even in like an episode of SpongeBob. Like, that's so subtle that like you never see it. They're like, well, see you next Tuesday.
Oh my Lord,
to, like,
wow.
The fish, the driving school teacher. Can't believe you haven't heard that before.
God, no,
the puffer.
Oh, that is
see you next Tuesday.
Phenomenal. I lost it. I lost it at that point in time. I lost, and she was like, the drunk neighbor who was just, crude and saying inappropriate things and inviting herself with things she doesn't want. She was just great. I loved her character and the whole thing. One of my favorite parts in the movie, just because it's funny. Do you say the guy that directed it was
Nate Faxon?
Was he in the movie?
Yes.
He
was the blonde-headed
guy. He was in. I think he was in Beer Fest too. Beer Fest as well. I mean, and so there's this scene at the very beginning when Sam Rockwell and the kid meet, and they finally go to the water park, and he's sitting at there, and he's like, watch this. I want to have you see what this guy does. And there's this whole scene where the water park's the water slide is out of order to get somebody that is going down the slide out of the line so that a hot girl can come up and get ready to go down the slide. Yeah. And then he just says, hold on, it's still out of order. You got to wait. Hold, wait. Okay, you can go ahead and hold. And then you just see them. They're all kind of just staring at her ass the whole time. It's so funny. And it's just like, just everything about it. I really enjoyed this movie experience. I'm glad that I had it on my DVR forever, and that might be a DVD that I might purchase. So I might add that to my collection.
It's definitely worth it.
It was great. I love the movie, and I would have to give this movie an 8.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. It was one of those movies, definitely emotional roller coaster. I did tear up a couple of times. But I mean, I really liked how it ended. I thought it was a great way to end the movie. You kind of see the connection between the mother and the son again, and it was great. I really enjoyed it.
This is actually the movie that put me on to Steve Carell playing a serious role. I mean, this movie is what pushed me to go see Foxcatcher, because I just didn't see Steve Carell as that kind of character.
You see a brick. And I love Lamp.
I just see him as that. But it really did push me to go see Foxcatcher, because I saw Foxcatcher maybe like 3 months after I watched this movie. I mean, he did a phenomenal job in it.
We're going to have to now give each other movies. I can't wait to hear about this movie.
No, it's going to be up your alley again.
Yeah?
Yep.
What is this movie? What is this movie that you are going to give me?
All right, it's a comic book movie that you've never seen. I know.
Oh.
And I actually really, really enjoyed this movie. Ooh. I've watched it several times. Mm-hmm. And it has Michael Cena in it. Mm-hmm. It has my girl in it, Anna Kendricks.
Oh, okay.
And it's Scott Pilgrim versus the World. You're gonna really enjoy this movie. It's very comic booky, and it's a really good movie.
All right,
I liked it. Yeah. I wasn't sure how I was gonna feel about it.
Me neither.
Because the initial style is like it's a comic book movie, but it's not. Like it's live. Kind of like
Edgar Wright. Right? He's the one
that
did it.
There's a lot of weird scenes in it too, like with the coins and stuff like that.
Transitions and stuff. You're like, wait a minute, and like. All right, I get
the words that pop up, it's a fun movie.
It's cool.
It's a really fun movie.
It's very uniquely stylized. I think that there aren't a whole lot of movies out there.
I couldn't think of any movie that was like this movie. It was just it's pretty much a movie that's in a category by itself. Mm-hmm. It's just a really good movie. It has really good cameos in it, and everybody's good in it. Man, it's just, the music's good in it too. I mean,
I'm looking forward to seeing it.
It's good. All right, so what did you give me?
I'm going to give you a movie because I don't know if you've seen this. I actually don't know. I'm going on the fact that I think that you haven't seen it because you don't.
If I've seen it, are we going to pick a different
movie?
I'll
have to pick a different movie, right. So the movie that I'm going with is, because I'm trying to get you more into the comic book realm.
Oh boy, here we go.
So I'm going to go and give you my favorite comic book movie of all time.
Ooh. Easy.
No, this is the favorite one of all time. Easy. Not easy. This is
slide me into the comic book genre.
Easy. I'm gonna slide you in. I'm gonna bang this one over your head because if you don't love this one, we might break up.
Oh, really?
You heard it.
You might have a new job, man.
Yeah, I can.
This movie is going to be Batman: The Dark Knight.
I've seen it.
You saw it?
I saw it in IMAX theater.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I
went with a bunch of friends.
Did you like it?
No. I fell asleep. I'm not gonna lie to you. I fell asleep at the IMAX theater. I thought it was very.
Did you see The Dark Knight Rises or The Dark Knight?
The very first one.
The one with the Joker.
Yeah. I went and saw it because I really like what's his name, and he just died, and
Heath Ledger.
Yeah, Heath Ledger. Keith.
He said
not give. No, you can edit that part out. You can edit that out, right?
Keith Ledger.
You gotta be since you fell asleep during that movie. You gotta understand that's staying in.
Can you give me like the first Batman? I've never seen that.
Wait, with Michael Keaton,
like the original.
Michael Keaton.
Yeah, never seen it.
Absolutely,
and I will love to see that movie.
That is a very comic book kind of movie. Like it's more of. It's got the kind of goofy, off the charts kind of.
Yeah, I've seen.
It's awesome. It's probably in my top 10 still.
Yeah,
favorites.
And I like Michael Keaton, so I would like that one.
Definitely not the same kind of role that Michael Keaton's you're used to, but
no. I've seen all kinds of Michael Keaton movies, but I know he can.
I hope so because he's awesome.
Yeah,
Multiplicity. I love that.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorite.
He's in Dream Team too, right?
Mr. Mom.
Dream Team. He was in that one.
Dream Team. What the hell is that?
No, he wasn't in Dream Team.
I don't even know what that movie is.
Or he was in the Psych Ward.
Oh,
that was Michael Keaton.
Yes,
right?
yes. Yeah. That's what it was called.
Dream Team, yeah. It was fun.
With him. It was
They took the van out to go to the.
It was
to the baseball game or whatever.
Doc Brown, right?
Yeah.
Christopher Lloyd. Yeah. I didn't realize that was a
doctor.
I didn't realize that was the movie called.
Yeah, it was Dream Team.
I never heard of that.
I'll look it up, but it was Dream Team.
It's a silly movie. That's funny. Johnny Dangerously. I love that movie.
Never seen that one.
That is probably one of my ultimate guilty pleasures. Michael Keaton's.
Yeah, the Dream Team. That was what it was called.
Batman. Tim Burton.
Classic.
Yeah, I love Tim Burton too. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then maybe you'll like this movie.
No, I'm gonna probably like it. I mean, if it's anything, it's not gonna be like Alien, but if it's
definitely not gonna be like Alien.
No, but if it's on the same level, like of quality, I'm definitely gonna like it.
It's a good
Prince
movie.
on the soundtrack.
Oh yes, there's a lot of Prince in that movie.
He did like the whole thing, like it was the first two. Like you may want to go bang bang on him and just go Batman Returns. I can't believe you haven't seen Batman.
Yeah, the original Batman, Michael Keaton.
If you're on the show more, I know. If you're on the show more, you're gonna realize that I didn't see a lot of those movies.
I already know you haven't seen any of the Star Wars movies either.
No,
it's nuts.
That's nutties.
I've seen bits and pieces. Like I could tell you what it's about, but honestly, I've never seen the whole.
I got the Blu-ray edition right up there, 4, 5, and 6. I even got 1, 2, and 3.
You can put it on the list of movies I gotta watch. I got so many. You gotta
watch it before we go see Force Awakens.
Yeah, right. So here,
I'm probably not gonna go see that.
You're fucking going to see it. You're gonna wait in line for 3 days.
Exactly.
And you're going to see it.
We'll edit that out.
So question for you: if you're gonna start giving him the Star Wars movies,
hopefully this is not gonna be all superhero movies you're gonna give me.
The Star Wars isn't a superhero movie.
That's a space opera.
It's a drama, action. How would you give it to him? Would you give it to him?
How would you give it?
All right, let me rephrase.
That sounds like a personal question.
All right. How would you let him view it? Would you let him view it chronologically? Or would you let him view it how they came out in real time?
I think he would lose interest in the prequels.
Yeah.
I don't think because he doesn't like CG. He doesn't like all. So I think he would want to go more the practical effects. So to suck him in.
Yeah.
I would do 4, 5, 6. Yeah.
But I heard the new ones. Like if you're a real true fan, that you don't like them, right?
No. See. I don't mind the prequels as much as a lot of people. Like a lot of people trash them.
Didn't it get crazy?
There's just so much. It's so overwhelming with how much CG there is. Yeah. And it kind of takes away from everything. And then you have the kid who played Anakin Skywalker, who wasn't a good actor. Yeah. You had, even as an adult, what's his name? Hayden Christensen. Yeah. He, as an adult, he wasn't even that good of an actor. And you needed someone really good to kind of give you that conflict inside of him, and you didn't really get that with him. He was kind of bad. I mean, I loved Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan. I fell in love with Obi-Wan. I liked Obi-Wan from the originals, but he said he was so old and didn't really have a lot of didn't do a lot of lightsaber battling.
At the time, at your age, he was he's that old guy that's in the way. So you gravitated towards Luke or Han.
Exactly, and I absolutely love Ewan McGregor in the movie. Yeah. Even the short stint that Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon Jinn, it was great. I mean, the movies they're okay. I mean, they're not trash like a lot of people says. Yeah. But for you, I wouldn't have you start off. For my son, that's the last one. For my son, I started him off 1, 2, and then I was going to have him watch the Clone Wars series, because if you're going to go in serious chronological order, it's 1. The Phantom Menace, and then it's
Attack of
the Clones, and then you would go into the Clone Wars, which is a cartoon series that was on Disney. It had 6 seasons. That was phenomenal. I watched every single one of those, and I'm actually in the process right now of watching them with my son. And then, but my wife one weekend actually just let him watch episode 3, which was Return of the Sith, or Revenge of the Sith, and went from there. And I was like, you know what, forget it. We've already dropped the ball, so I'm just going to go forward. And we watched 4, 5, and 6 probably within the last 6 weeks or so. And he loves them. He talks about Han and Carbonite all the time.
How do you feel about being a dad and passing along the things that you love to your kid, and then having him or having him kind of discover it on his own and being really enjoying it? How do you feel about that? Because I have my own.
As far as, this is the thing. When I grew up, I watched the Star Wars, the originals, 4, 5, and 6 in a later age. I was probably almost 11 when I saw them for the first time. And when I saw them for the first time, I didn't love them. I was the lightsaber battles were kind of lame. There wasn't a lot of action. Even the CG work was kind of a little hokey at that time. I mean, you're talking, if I saw this in 11, I saw this in the early 90s or so, late 80s, early 90s. And I just wasn't sold by it. And then the prequels came out and reintroduced it to me. But before the prequels came out, I revisited 4, 5, and 6. So that was in the late 90s. And I liked them a little bit more. Prequels came out. I liked the prequels when they came out. I thought they were interesting. I thought they were pretty cool. But rewatching them again with my son later on in life, the prequels I still feel the same way about. The 4, 5, and 6, watching them with him and seeing him like get all fired up and excited about it brought it to another level. Like they're almost 10s, all of them, 4, 5, and 6 now for me, 10 out of 10, because of watching them with him and then talking to him about them. Like he's 6 years old, so it's not like he has a totally different perspective of it, but he loves Star Wars. Star Wars, everything. I'm more of a Star Wars fan now than I ever was, and now I would consider myself like a fanboy. I've even picked up a couple of the books, and I'm going to start reading them, and they came out with new comic books that they're going to have, and I'm going to start picking up those. And I'm definitely going to be seeing Force Awakens. Like I am going to do my best to be able to see that movie, a midnight showing. I'm gonna do my best. It's gonna be maybe camping out, but I would love to see that in IMAX, and that's gonna be so tough to do. How about you? I mean, you have a daughter, so
so that's like it's like the coolest thing to me to like try. I mean, she's not. Cam is how old again?
He's 6. He's going on 7.
So Pacey's only 2. So I mean, she's just starting to now like kind of be able to sit down and watch something for the full length of time and things like that. But some of the like it's like the coolest thing to like sit down and show her something that like I watched as a kid or was like, and she just will sit and eat it up, like, and watch it. We watched I showed her, she's seen both of the Ninja Turtle movies.
I do that with my nephew.
Oh, the originals?
Yeah, the originals. Actually,
it's all right.
What came out on Netflix was the Super Mario Brothers Super Show from the 90s with like Captain Lou Albano.
Yeah.
It's so awful and it's hard to watch. She loves it. She asked for it.
That's awesome.
Watching Mario, like she'll do that. Or and one of like my wife and I's favorite movies is like a favorite Disney movie is Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, that's cool.
And she loves that movie.
Yeah,
she asks for it almost every day. Watch a wee wo. She'll just want, and she'll sit and watch like the whole thing. And it's just like it's so cool to like start passing on like that kind of stuff to that
it makes it timeless.
Yeah, it just makes me love it. Like
you said she loved the Ninja Turtles, right?
She loved. Yeah, she liked it.
Netflix just released the live action TV show that they had. There's like 2 seasons of it.
Really?
Yeah, it's on Netflix
I don't know if
now.
I remember that. I remember the live action concert that they did.
Yeah, the Turtles on tour. Yeah,
so bad. So bad. You gotta walk straight, don't need to mutate. That's funny. Talking about like stand out drug, it's like so like positive, like PSA messages in the songs. It's so awful.
To wrap this up, we're gonna go and give this plate where people can find you. So, Brandon, where can people find you on the social interwebs?
I'm all on the interwebs. I'm all at DJ Darth Vader with an F. That's where you can find me. All
Darth Vader. I've been meaning to ask you, why do you have that name? Because you loved Star Wars, or is it just because you liked the name and thought of it as a cool brand?
A little bit of both. The story came up real quick is that like in the old school ways of usually DJing yourself before people put like super trains of thought into marketing themselves and this has to be appropriate for this and what I want to do, blah blah blah. The old school way of DJing is you were giving your name from somebody else. The best kept secret, my buddy Chris Barbaro out in Boston. We were roommates and we lived together for a while, and I carried records for him back in the day and stuff like that. And I told him I was getting into DJing again. He named me. He goes, "Well, you're Darth Vader." and he's like, he knew I was a Star Wars fan. Like I wouldn't say that like I'm a super fanboy. Like I do enjoy the movies, love them, grow up and stuff like that. But it's just something that worked for me and kind of like my personality. It's a little nerdy, sure. It's fun, sure. It's got something to do with music. Why not?
Yeah,
that's where it came from. So that's cool. That's how people can get me: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all on at DJ Darth Vader. That's where you find me. Great. All right, Chad. Where can people find you on the social interwebs? Chadwick.
Obviously, you can find me. I'm with the Cine Bros on Cine Bros on Facebook. Facebook.com/cdizzle82. It's CDIZZLE 82. I post my blogs there. I just started them. I post these videos as well. I talk about movies, probably a little bit more abstract movies, indie films and stuff like that. But you can find me there. And then I'm on Instagram at DJ Dizzle. 82. I'm on Twitter, but I don't use it, so I'm not even gonna plug that.
Well, that you can see right below your name and the little.
You can see that right there. I don't use it, but it's right there.
And for me, you can pretty much find me everywhere at the Cinebros. You can find me facebook.com/the Cinebros. You can find me on Twitter at the Cinebros. You can find me at Instagram at the Cinebros. And one other thing I will tell you to do is please subscribe to our channel, because the more subscriptions we get, the more we get out there. Then as soon as we get to 100 subscriptions, we will be giving away a free movie digital download to one lucky subscriber. That won't be going out to the Facebook page. We will be doing more giveaways and contests and stuff like that later on. But as of right now, as soon as our first one will be as soon as we get to 100 subscribers. So please share, like. That is it for this installment of CineTalk. So we hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you for watching, and we will see you guys again soon.